Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I have two around $30 knives with 14C 28-inch blade steel from Sitivien. We're going to run through them, look at the fit, finish, action, ergos, tell you how much they cost and what colors they come in, and then we're going to wrap it up. Are you ready? We're going to start right now. This one is the Sitivien ST-150, and it is a chunk. You can get these in black, brown, or green micarta, and it is a nice looking canvasy type micarta. It has a good feel to it. It's not super rough, doesn't have a ton of texture. I would give it about a 4.5, close to a 5. It does actually grip your skin a little bit. You can see it's really nice and clean looking. You do have a lanyard hole back here. It is not a reversible clip. The clip, this is one that's going to be easy to get out of your pocket. It's not deep carry, so you're going to be able to pull it in and out of your pocket for a little bit of slicing action. It has a good looking back spacer that matches the scales, which is very nice, very, very nice. And there is some good jimping going on here too that does grab the skin. A drawback, you already know what I'm going to say. This jimping should come all the way around. That way you never miss this flipper tab. Speaking of flippers, you ready? What were you expecting? What did you think was going to come out of this thing? Look at that. This thing is a very tall, flat grind. 14C 28-inch blade steel. It's 675 inches long. The blade length is 2.72 inches. Your blade stock's 130 thousandths of an inch, and it's only 16 thousandths behind the edge. So yes, it does come down to a nice slicey. Whoa, grabbing some skin. This is definitely a slicer. It has good geometry, and it came sharp out of the box. Now, you gonna guess how much this sucker weighs? It weighs 4.97 ounces. So it's right at the 5-ounce mark. It is a chunky one. This pocket clip is easy in and out of the pocket. There's nothing to grab a hold of your pocket. No screws, no mushrooms going in the shade. It is very strong. It is not a weak pocket clip by any sense of the imagination. And this black wash is very nice. Look at that. Sitivien does a good job. They are killing it. I mean, killing it in the budget department. Look at this, nice and strong blade. I wish I had some jimping out here. You know, that's how I am. I always want some jimping. The plunge grind it's abrupt. It stops up here, so you are good to go for sharpening on that. I'm not sure where the holes in here, maybe just for looks, but the feel of it, oh yeah. Let's check the blade real quick first. Sitivien always comes out with the strong, oh yeah, look at that. That is, oh yes, that is heavenly. That is such a clean factory edge. I would expect nothing else from Sitivien. They always come through with a good factory edge, yes. So how about left and right? There's about a 1 out of a 10, 1 being one little bit of movement. Up and down, there's 0. And then your lockup, say we're lockup, it's hard to see in there, about 30% on that. And then it's favoring the show side by just a little bit. So I guarantee it just needs tightened up a little bit. Here's what it looks like in between two of the tried and trues. You know it, the Penguin, pivot to pivot, and the Sitivien Elementum. So it is a lot shorter in blade, but it makes up for it in height and blade width or height or body. Look at this. Looky. Here's the width compared to the Penguin. Yeah, it is a chunky one. So while it is shorter, it's fatter. For your deployment, it's easy to deploy. Your finger grabs onto that jimping very well. The jimping up front is very grabby. That is some good stuff. It's just too bad they couldn't put just a couple more on there just to wrap it around. But giving it the flip, it comes flying out. Your detent is good. It is very snappy. This is definitely a chunky one. If you want a knife that's a little more substantial in your hand, you know the size of my hand. If you watch the videos, my hand from here to here is 3. Okay, from here to here is 3.5, and from here to here is 4 inches. So that's what it looks like in my hand. If you had extra large hands, it might become a little short for you. It might be about a 3.5 finger knife. But because of the width of the handle, or the height of the handle, it is, wow, it is very solid. You talk about a slicer and a half. If this thing had jimping coming all the way out to here on the spine, that would have been amazing. But it is comfortable in the hand. The pocket clip, doesn't have any issues. The little bill here isn't bothering me at all. So it is comfortable. I wouldn't say this is a choker upper. You're going to end up getting yourself with the heel there. I mean, maybe if you're just cutting some tape, but I would say keep it back here. It is very comfy. And yes, you can hold it in the reverse grip without a problem. So there's the Sitivien ST-150. The drop on it, it feels a little grainy. It could probably use a couple drops of KPL. But then again, I imagine what that probably is the detent ball against this black wash, which will wear in and get smoother over time. Right before I made this video, I looked them up on Amazon, and these, there's a 20% coupon. And you can get one of these for 32 bones. Yeah, $32. That is not bad for this chunker, and it's definitely nice. If you're a pocket knife collector, not a pocket collector, but if you're a pocket knife collector and you want something different in your repertoire with 14C 28N and this good looking burlap, that's a pretty good deal for $32. All right, you ready? Let's check out the next one. We'll go back one number. This is the Sitivien ST-149. Yeah, and this is gonna be your budget worker knife, under 30 bucks. Look at this. It has a, what do you call that? About a half length back spacer, which has the little bumpy bumps on it. Would you call that jimping? That's the question of the day. And it doesn't have a reversible deep carry pocket clip. It has this is a working person's knife. Easy to get in and out of your pocket. You don't have to dig into your pocket like you do with the deep carry knife. This one is right there. You can pull it out, put it back in easy. There's no screws, and it is a very, very sturdy pocket clip. The edges just kind of shadow box just a little bit on the outside of the scales. And hey, let's get into the blade. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, reach out and touch someone with that pointiness. Has a little bit of that dagger look to it. Look at that satin. And I can't remember, but I think there's 2 or 3 different versions of this one. Usually they'll add in the different variations or colors of the micarta they have. Now this one, it's coming in at about a 3.5, 4. It doesn't have a lot of texture. You can feel it. It feels nice, but it's not grabby. Now, if you look along the edges, this micarta up here does add some texture. It's not sharp, but it makes itself known. You can feel this micarta going all the way around, kind of sticking out. You can see where it almost has that rough cut feel. It's not a bad thing. It's just something you definitely notice when you're holding it. Now, overall, this bad boy from tip to tip is 8.31 inches. The blade is 3.6 inches. Although your sharpen length's 3.33 inches. It weighs 4.93 ounces. Your blade stock thickness is 121 thousandths of an inch. It's not too stocky, but it's pretty sturdy. And behind the edge, 22 thousandths of an inch. So this is a good worker knife. It's definitely, if you have any piercing tasks, whatever they are, open a bag of mulch, opening a bag of taters, this is definitely going to be a piercer. And something that I kind of find neat, I like the satin look right here. And then up here, the ricasso in this flat area is stonewashed. So it kind of, you could see where they put that swedge in up top, where the ricasso is all stonewashed. I kind of like it. And look at that. 14C 28N, baby. Let's see what kind of edge we have going on here. Ooh, yeah. Yep. Just like the last one. Nice and slicey. This one isn't as sharp as the last one, just by the way it's going through the paper, but it is still very sharp. The finish is very nice on this one. Left and right, I am getting about a 2. I'm getting movement of 2 out of 10 for movement, 10 being like the pivots out of it. So I am getting movement left to right, up and down, 0. So again, they need to tighten the pivots before they send them out. Maybe a little bit of quality control that they need to check on. And on the inside, we are right in the center where we want to be. And is it centered? Yes, it is centered. Just needs tightened up a little bit. And why not? We'll take a quick look-see. This side, yes, it was a little loose. This side, okay, so I believe they have captive pivots. We're not going to do a disassembly on this one today. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that tightened it up 100%. It is tight now. We'll take a quick gander and see what it looks like next to the QSP Penguin. There's the Penguin, and here is the Elementum for size. Yes, this is a full-size knife. If you have a larger hand or you like a larger knife with a larger blade, yep, that's going to be right up your alley. And speaking of right up your alley, let's check out the action in the ergo. Now, taking a quick look at this flipper tab, you can see it does have some big jimps, but I'm not feeling the jimps on the side. The jimping is not grabbing my finger. I think the only way you'd feel them is if you choke up like this with your index finger. It's very grabby and works very well in that aspect. All right, and it's almost droppy shut. You do have to give it a little bit of help, and that might be because I tightened it up. But I prefer, it probably doesn't matter if there's a tad bit of blade play, but I like it being solid like this with no movement. Now, I can tell you something I just noticed. As far as your access to the lock bar, see how this liner has this shadow box look where it's sticking out? Your access to the lock bar is pretty much not there. It's not hard to hit, but you do feel like you're trying to push through this liner to get to it. It is not difficult. I'm not having to squeeze or push. It's just something that's very noticeable because usually there's a little bit of area, you know, a little bit of access to the lock bar, but it is comfortable. This is definitely going to make a great work knife. The action works great. Can we do anything with this thumb hole? We can use that to thumb roll it. Let's see. Can I do it? Yes. Okay. All right. We have another way to open it. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. You put your thumb down in there and it does work. Can we reverse flick it? Oh no. Detent is, this knife is not coming out. The detent is strong. So you're good on the detent. And anything else we missed? It does have cage ball bearings. I'm not certain if they're ceramic. I believe they might be listed as ceramic ball bearings. You'll probably want to double check. I always put links to the knives in the description of the video, and I also put them in the comment section if you want to go check them out for yourself. And it does have a lanyard hole, and this is kind of nice. I like this. Now, as far as ergos and the hammer grip, very comfortable. No issues at all. No hot spots whatsoever. And if you're going to do a little utility cutting, yeah, you're good to go on that. It fits the hand very well. Has a nice neutral ergos. I like the neutral. Like the neutralness. You got to be in the neutral zone. You know what I'm saying? And man, oh man, look at this. This jimping, they have the jimping coming out far enough. Only drawback that I would say, or a nitpick, is that it's not aggressive. Look at this. It's right out there where my thumb goes, but it's not grabbing my thumb. It's just kind of sliding over. So if this maybe if it was twice as many jimps and it was a little more aggressive, oh my goodness. But I will say that you do have this stop right here. So if you're going to be poking through some bags of whatever, you know, working out in the yard, this is going to be a good working knife. Solid banger. These have the same 20% off discount that you just tap it when you're on Amazon. You get it for like 28 bucks, and that's what the price is at the time of this video. So if you're watching this 5 years from now and they cost $1 million, be like, well, now you know. So there's the Sitivien ST-149 and the Sitivien ST-150. They are always popping out the great budget bangers, and these are in 14C 28N. So let me know what you think about them. What did I say? 28, 32 bucks. That's an awesome deal. I think it's great. So until I see you in the chats, go watch this video. You're really going to enjoy those knives. I will see you in the chats, and I'll see you in the different live streams and at the Hive stream every Friday night. Remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.